GM, everybody. Welcome to the Ape Well. We have an exciting show ahead of us today. In a little bit, we're going to be playing a game called Sweep or Sell, where we look through the top 10 projects on OpenSea and give our thoughts on them. This is our schedule. We film this live every Monday at 1 p.m. Central. If you're out there in the audience, appreciate you guys joining us, and hope to have a good episode and play along with you guys in just a little bit. I'm Paper Ape, joined with Ty as always. Ty, how you doing, fam? How was your Thanksgiving?
Yo, GM Paper, I'm doing pretty well, my man. Thanksgiving was dope. How about you?
It was good. Cowboys won, so that's a tradition that I'm looking forward to hopefully continuing on future Thanksgivings.
There you go. Got the big Cowboys win, the comeback victory, I think, right?
Yeah, it was looking scary. Anytime that we're playing the Giants close, it feels like death. I feel like dying. So it was good to see us pull away in the end there.
Well, I'm glad that wasn't the case. I'm glad you're still with us. A lot to be thankful for, a lot to be grateful for. NFTs are experiencing a slight pump, little Yuga season in effect, it feels like. So that's cool.
I love it. I absolutely am loving it. I wish I would have bought more stuff during the dip. Like Yuga stuff specifically, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they all say.
Yeah, have you been buying anything recently?
Not really too much. I've had my eye on a lot of stuff, but in terms of pulling the trigger, no. I'm still somewhat cautious and just surveying the market, waiting to see how all this plays out. But it is cool to see the Yuga pump after just one tweet. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I'm going to try to pull up that tweet here just to show anybody in case they missed it. But basically, Yuga Labs and Bored Apes, they tweeted out a little teaser of the Jimmy what's it called? The Trial of Jimmy. But basically, They said it's coming out or at least like something else is coming by Christmas, I'm pretty sure. Here, let me get my screen shared. Happy Thanksgiving, Apes. The trial begins this Christmas. So we finally got an official date for the next Bored Ape things that's coming out, which has got everybody excited. It's got all the prices pumping. It's been a really good time so far for the past week. So I'm hoping it continues. What do you make of this announcement, Ty?
I mean, to be honest, my number one takeaway is just the effect that a simple tweet like this can have on everything in their ecosystem. Everything is up, and all things considered, like 20% plus along every collection. So it's cool to see. I can't take Meebits into account for that, but I guess between the apes, mutants, and dogs, everything's running. Otherdeeds are running. So it's cool to see. It takes money to make money, so hopefully people took profit and were able to take advantage of this dip just a little bit. But we'll see how long it lasts. There's a couple things coming up that I think we'll probably cover just naturally going through the show. But yeah, it's always good to see what this effect has on the whole market, because I feel like when Yuga pumps, everything pumps a little bit. That's kind of the power that they have.
Yeah, it's that rising tide that floats all ships, or whatever the saying is.
Yeah, right.
That's how it
I know
goes.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like Yuga or the Bored Apes will always pump Bored Apes or Mutants, and one of those two, and then we get the trickle down effect of like people taking profit and then putting the money into smaller projects, and it's just that cyclical pump that ends up happening. So I'm excited to see where this money actually goes, and hopefully the apes and the people that are making the profit off this recent pump are going to reinvest it into some more NFTs. And it really does seem like things are heating up. We have a lot of new blue chips in the top 10 that I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, there's some cool ones.
So yeah, this is what we're going to be looking at today. gonna be starting it off with Azuki. We got CloneX. Valhalla's a new
Azuki's
one.
at 10. Yeah, Valhalla. Who's coming in? Honorable mention, like 11 through 12, 13.
So, the honorable mentions that didn't make it: Imposter Syndrome by IPP Sketch. I'm not super familiar with this one. It seems like an art project, so it's probably pretty cool, but it seems like very small quantity in this collection. Oh, it's an art blocks thing.
Yep.
I've been on the art stuff a lot on Tezos, so I'm still just trying to learn how to be in it for the art. Also, Crypto
You're doing a good
Burbs
job, you know?
missed out. Hey, I appreciate
Burbs.
that, man. my Tezos plays have been actually making money, surprisingly. So
That's
hopefully
what's up.
hopefully it keeps going and doesn't just stop here. I'm not gonna lie, I thought about picking up a burb, but I don't know anything about him.
I don't know much. Seemed like a Degen play that has maybe came and went.
Yeah, I think I was looking this morning right when I woke up, and the floor price was, I think, closer to 0.2. So they're definitely coming down.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the hat, like the Cryptoad style. I used to have one with this red hat, so immediately drawn to that one. Moonbirds are also they just missed out on the top 10, sitting at an 8.8 floor.
Interesting. 8.8. Wow.
Cellmates are actually up a good amount. We talked about them last week. They were, I think, 0.52 or something around that range.
Yeah, that sounds
last
about
week.
right. That sounds about right.
Yeah, and
Were
we
they
can
in the
actually
top
look.
10?
Yeah, and then we can actually we're gonna look at that in a little bit once we look at the results for last week.
Man, just the way that you said it right there, I already know I took the L.
Well, we can find out soon. Rare is also last week. I think they're actually down from when they were. Surprisingly, I don't want to give any spoilers, so we'll get to it when we get to it. But there really isn't that much news out this week other than Bored Apes. Have you seen anything else that is worth mentioning or bringing up?
I mean, I think there's a little bit just going through the top 10. It seems like, there's been some larger news throughout the space. There's been some notable auctions at Christie's lately. I know ACK had some real life pieces go. I know Ferocious had a nice auction. So like shout out to the leaders in the space, keeping it forward, keep pushing it forward. You brought up a good thing.
Auction?
Ferocious.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. I was like, I didn't know Farouk was making art.
No. I mean, I don't know if he is or not, but that's not what I meant.
Yeah, Ferocious is a real one. I know
Yeah,
they're gonna be doing
right?
some crazy stuff over at Miami. It's Basel week. I don't know how I forgot to mention that, but it's an exciting week for everybody that's down there in Miami. I'm super jealous of everyone that's out there.
Yeah, likewise, my man. I'm feeling the FOMO.
Yeah, I want to start getting some themed weeks going. Like, we could easily do something for a Basel week on here and just like look at more art projects or just, whatever is the theme of the week. I think we can start getting some fun shows going like that. That's just one of the things that's been on the back of my mind today.
Totally. No, I think that's a good idea. I was going to say something about that earlier, just with like showcasing other artists. You know what I mean? Like there's been a lot of really dope artists that have just kept on creating during the bear space and that are making a name for themselves or seeing some success from just putting in the work. And it's cool just being able to interact with these, with these artists on Twitter or, making a brand, building their own brand. It's been cool, but I'd be down to mix it up a little bit and do something themed, or if it's outside of the top 10, or just like have like maybe a small section where we each pick a project or something like that.
Yeah, I think we should definitely figure out some way to do that because just like you said, we need to figure out some way to shine the spotlight on some of these new artists. I wanted to bring up somebody who you've been telling me all about recently. No, that's Terrell Jones. It seems like
Yeah,
he
dude.
really is like making some good moves in the Web3 space, and I think he should be on people's radars. But I feel like it's probably better coming from your mouth because you know more about him than I do. So, what do you think about this guy and his art and where he stands in the Web3 space?
I mean, putting me on the spot here. I guess the first time that I saw his work was when Grant Yoon might have retweeted it. I don't know if he bought a piece or not, but that was it. That was a couple months ago, maybe. So I've just been following him. But his artwork is, yeah, super dope. Shout out to Terrell Jones. He's been balling lately, just dropping piece after piece. So, you know, the last collection was an open mint for 48 hours and it's gamified a little bit. So it looks like if you hold it versus mint it or burn it, you get a new piece. But yeah, the art style is super dope. And it was only a matter of time before this caught on, in my opinion. So yeah, you can't go wrong. That could definitely be, I mean, any of that is really just sweep. If you get the chance to get in while you can, especially on these early pieces.
Yeah. Oh, even Grant's still tweeting about it.
Boom. Business calls. I mean, that's so dope.
It is such an iconic art style that he's got too. Like I love collecting people who you can tell who it is just by looking at the thing without even like having to have the confirmation of like, oh, this is so and so's art piece. Like you just know once you see it.
Totally. And he's got these couple characters that he puts in this last series that he was working on, like a skeleton and a couple little devils. And I'm sure if you keep scrolling, you'll come to it eventually. This piece is going off because he just dropped it today. And like the way that the water looks. Yeah, that was the open mint.
I assume the devil's one of the other characters in his
it is.
motif.
It is, yeah. His last one of one went for like 7. That was the last open edition that came out on Halloween. That went pretty hard. There was only like 300 editions that sold, I feel like. And for instance, the one that just dropped, not even a month later, had maybe over 1,200. So that's like wild. Significant growth. Yeah, right. But I mean, keep going. Just for anybody paying attention, this piece called Mojave is like a grail. So dope.
This tennis one, I don't know what it's called, but I love this
that's
thing
fire,
so much.
Bro. That's the one I put in your chat, man. That was the one I put in the chat at like 0.25.
Oh man,
they're selling for like 1.4 right now.
Yeah, there was one that you sent me where I was like, I'm definitely gonna get this, and then I was up in Dallas at the time, like didn't have my computer on me, and so I was like, all right, I'll just wait till I get back. And then I think by the time I got back, this was on one of the open editions, but it was closed.
I think that was the one that just happened, bro, because we were all like not in front of our computers.
Yeah, very sad to miss out on that one, but I mean, it's better late than never. So I'm for sure trying to get whatever is coming out next by Terrell that I vibe with.
Yeah, definitely. Up and coming artist for sure, putting his name in the space.
Hell yeah. And we absolutely do need to find a way to highlight some new artists. I've been making I've been dropping some music on Tezos.
There it is.
Called Vibe Cards. I wanted to chill these for a second. Getting my name out there for the music NFT space. But I'm selling them for super cheap right now, just trying to get them in collectors' hands. So this is the kind of stuff that y'all are interested in. 1 Tezos, basically $1. Go find me. Go collect the stuff. Tell me that you did. And hell yeah, I'll give props where it's due. But yeah, I would like to get a whole thing going for the Basel and just be able to put the spotlight on artists who are doing really cool shit.
Totally.
Yeah. And we could dive into that. Honestly, we might have to have a different stream this week just to look into all that stuff.
Yeah. Maybe just like an artist showcase or Basel showcase. Tap in with some of the people who are down there.
Yeah. I will say that's one of the things that's on my agenda for this week, to try to figure out some way where we can work that into our shows or spaces. So that's something I'll be working on. And Ty, if you got any ideas, let me know, because I think there's such a big opportunity in just being able to shine the light on people who are making cool things.
Definitely, 100%.
And with that said, do you want to go ahead and get the sweeper sale kicked off? Because I think we probably got a lot to cover today.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah, let's do it. All right, y'all know the deal. Just like I said earlier, we're going to be looking through the top 10 NFT projects and choosing whether or not we would buy or sell them at their current prices. No financial advice, just having fun playing this game, and we encourage you all to play along with us if you're watching live. So, pulling up last week's results, Ty, you did come in with the win.
Let's go.
Yep, 5 out of 10 correct, and that 15.26 P&L is looking pretty juicy.
Look at that, P&L. Remember, no financial advice, you know what I mean? Even I can do it every once in a while.
But yeah, that was some solid competition for last week. Diving into the details here, we both swept Bored Apes and Mutant Apes, so that was a wash. But I mean, we collectively made 14.72 ETH off of those, and you also swept Azuki, which gave you that 0.54 edge to pull off the victory.
Pulled off the victory. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'm looking at the rest of the charts here. How much did everything go up across the board? No, not at all. All right, cool.
Yeah, everything went up that probably has at least a good lifespan. Broadside was a new project that it didn't really seem like it had anything going for it, so that's down a little bit. Rare A Pepe Yacht Club, I'm
down a little bit.
You know, that's not something that I would advise anybody buys ever, and that's down a little bit. But there's also some that were up that probably shouldn't be, like Art Gobblers. So you really never know. But
Art Gobblers holding at 4. Wow.
Yeah, that's probably the most surprising
thing. Is up big too.
Yeah, it seems like because people like a week ago it was getting fudded a little bit, and that was at 0.52. So it seems like the community does not give a fuck. They're gonna they're riding hard with the cellmates.
Yeah, right. Well, good for them. That's what's up.
Yep. So love to see that. Congrats on the win last week, Ty. But I got your number this week, so we're gonna have to tie that score up at the top. Where you're at 4 wins now, I'm 1 behind, so I gotta make up for it this week.
Hey, you know, we still gotta catch Kaizen, bro.
Yeah, I know. Thankfully, we're getting some freebies here on him. So this is what the top 10 looks like for today. We got Azuki, CloneX, Valhalla, Bored Ape Kennel Club, Deafbeef, Otherdeeds, The Memes by 6529, CryptoPunks, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Bored Ape Yacht Club. So a lot of familiar faces, a few new ones, and we can hop into it right now. So collection number 10 for the day. Like I just said, we got Azuki's. These are up. You swept these last week. This is what won you the week essentially. Right now sitting at 10.25 floor price.
10.25. Yeah, that's holding pretty strong, right at 10. I think it all depends on what happens here. From here on to potential staking. It's like, how long can the Yuga pump last if that's what's going to carry everything? Or are we really coming out of this little bottom that we've been in for a little bit and going to trend up for a bit? It's kind of a tough call. Is that 10.75 on OpenSea? Yeah.
So on Blur, it's 10.25. OpenSea is 10.75. Pretty small difference, just considering the fees that you don't have to pay on Blur. But yeah, I think what you said is pretty much going to be what dictates what direction the market ends up going. It's like, I will say for the short term, I think the bump that we saw on coins is pretty much over, and it's going to go back down. So it really just depends on if NFTs are going to follow what coins are doing, or if they're finally going to break away.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, ETH is holding pretty strong at what, about 1160?
Yeah, I'd be curious to do some. Probably should get TradingView pulled up, but I need to get that one going for a different stream.
You know what? I'm 2 weeks in a row of going up. Yeah, I could see it. I'll sweep them. I'll sweep the Azukis again.
Sweeping them. Yeah, I'm torn. I've been using this as my thing for the past couple weeks, and I've been looking at the offers that we have out there on this stuff. So very thin floor right here, 10 to 11. 6 offers between 9 and 10, and then a lot of listings above this. But it doesn't. I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem like people are trying to get out of Azuki like very fast. So it's hard. I'm gonna go with the sell on Azuki because I don't. I don't see it. I don't want to just gamble the money on. Hopefully, the Yuga stuff trickles over to Azuki. I don't really know what's going on with that collection, but yeah, that's not something I'm gonna take a risk on. So
no, I think that's the fair play, bro. I mean, you know what I mean? You're not wrong. I could see it happening week over week. That's all.
Absolutely. So that's our first difference for the day. We're already getting it started off pretty quick here. Ty, you're sweeping Azukis. I'm selling them. We got that booked in there. So collection number 9 for the day. We are looking at CloneX, one of my favorites. And they also have a lot of stuff coming up soon. I'm not sure the exact dates for it yet, but they still have those monsters coming out of the eggs or something like that soon. So at 8.55 floor price, I'm going to sweep just on the basis of knowing that there's stuff coming out pretty soon. I am looking on the depth here. This is a very thin looking floor to me. Let me see here.
You got any
never mind. I
dates
can't
on
really
any of these
count it like
things that
that.
are coming soon?
Sorry?
I said, you got any dates on any of the stuff that's coming up?
I don't. I'd have to check in with the CloneX maxis or go scavenge that Discord. But I'll have to find out those dates, and we'll throw them in the Apewell Discord here after the show. So I was saying I was looking at the depth right here, but can't really count that because it goes 8 to 8.55. So this is really just one NFT that's causing this right here. But even if you look from 8.55 up to basically 9 ETH, it's pretty thin compared to after that. So this is something that I'm willing to take a gamble on here. So 8.55 CloneX, lock me in for a sweep on this one.
Sweeping it. Wow. Okay. Conviction. I'm gonna go the opposite way on this one. I'm feeling gutsy about Azuki, but I'm not gonna double down on CloneX, even if they got a drop coming up. I think if they just feel right, like somewhere between 8 and 9, it just feels pretty solid for the marketplace.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think a lot of these mid-tier blue chips are going to end up being coin flips on. Hopefully the people who are making the profits end up taking the profit from whatever they just flipped and then putting it back into here, whether they want to hold it or look for the next flip on it.
Yep, totally.
So yeah, I totally agree with what you're seeing. Collection number 8 for the day. We're moving right through these. This is a new one that I actually had to do some research on this morning. It's Valhalla. I saw there was people in our stream last week that were mentioning Valhalla, so I know this has been on the radar for a lot of people recently. Have you been paying a lot of attention to what's been going on with this collection?
No, we talked about this one a little bit last week, where oh, sorry, my bad, I just got a notification. Yeah, this is the one where these two founders had beef, and one of them, I can't remember if it was in Twitter Spaces or what, but one of the founders was like, "Yeah, you know what? I'll rug if I have to." And I think that was the founder of this project, low key.
Oh wow, I didn't
Yeah.
hear about that at all.
Oh yeah, dude. No, yeah, it's out there. The screen messages are shared. Like the other project, the founder for the other project made a whole like blog post about it. But I'm not sure when's the last time they tweeted.
I'm not even gonna lie, I have not looked at their Twitter at all, so I couldn't tell you. I've only just looked at their website, and it really didn't. It's not a turn on for me, just from what I've been seeing here. I can see it's like heavily VC funded, and it looks like they're going for esports type stuff. But really, I put a tweet out a few weeks ago, and really just anything that's VC funded in the NFT space, I do not want to touch. So like just off that basis right now, I don't care what the price is. It's not something that I'd want to buy. I could probably see it going up from a week to week basis, even like especially because it's unreleased. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say it now. I'm gonna sell Valhalla, and
Selling it.
yeah. So it looks like we're at 0.5 for the floor. Did you have any other like different impressions from it than I did?
No, I think they're like Azuki backed, or like maybe even directly funded partly from Azuki. I don't know if their story goes into it, but the art's definitely similar. It definitely has that vibe. Like anything that tries to do that and gets that close, like I just haven't seen it have crazy success. So let's see, they sold out on the 23rd, and they haven't tweeted anything
everything
since.
that has this art style all looks the exact same to me.
I mean, bro,
basically
this
what
is
you're
the
saying?
founder. The founder was like literally joking about rugging if he had to. And their last tweet is that they sold out on November 23rd.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's kind of a red flag. He's selling out and then just ghost for 5 days.
Sold out. More to come. Thank you. Peace.
So that sounds like you're going to be selling this one as well. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yep. Selling it.
Yeah, can't. Totally agree with you on there. I don't know. I don't get the hype. Maybe somebody, if you guys in the chat have been following Valhalla and you know more than I do, let me know in the chat, because I'm trying to understand where the hype is coming from on this thing, and I really just do not see it.
Struggling.
Yep. So collection number 7 for the day, we got the Bored Ape Kennel Club. 6 ETH floor price. This has been pumping like crazy ever since the announcement came out. And I think part of it was from a tweet. Oh man, I can't. Maybe I can pull it in here. Oh hell yeah, it worked. All right, so this was one of the reasons why I think the kennel clubs were pumping after the recent Yuga announcement, and that's because in the description of the kennels, it literally says every ape should have a 4-legged companion. At the very end here, it says to fire a missile launcher at that bastard Jimmy the monkey. So it seems like people think that the trial for Jimmy starts Christmas. There's going to be some sort of utility for the Bored Ape Kennel Clubs coming by Christmas. So that's like a month from now. And yeah, the floor price has been going crazy since then, but it looks like it's cooling back down. So we're going to go current floor price 6 ETH on the Kennel Clubs. How do you feel about that? Because they were down at like in the 4s before the announcement came out.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I definitely saw some low pickups. High 4s. People flipping kennels. I could see these continue to run, especially if they have a little extra utility on staking too. So,
which is also coming up real soon.
Yeah, that's also coming up soon. I'm gonna sweep. I'm gonna probably end up sweeping everything here on the Yuga side of things. in anticipation for the staking, just to foreshadow. But yeah, dude, I think the dogs could they're at 6 right now. 7's not out of the question in a week.
Yeah, I will say I thought about sweeping, like legitimately buying one of these this morning and last night. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I still might do it because I really just think, like, I remember back sometime last year, the Kennels were floating around like 7 to 9 ETH. I straight up traded a Bored Ape Kennel Club for a Chromie Squiggle, just 1-for-1 back then, which is insane. So like now, if you think about that ratio, Squiggles are worth way more than the Kennels, and like they're definitely not related whatsoever. But I just think that, there was a time where people were paying the exact same amount for these same things. So I think there could be more room to run. And 6 doesn't seem like a bad entry. So I would sweep these also at 6.
Yeah, sweeping at 6. The question is, do you still have your Squiggle?
I do not. I sold that one for a couple ETH profit. Yeah, and this was back when like whatever 7 ETH was like 25 grand or something like that. I tweeted the dollar amount when I bought the Squiggle and triggered so many people. It was such a good time. There's some alpha for you guys if you're watching, but if you tweet any kind of thing, like if you buy any NFT, just price it in US dollars, tweet about it, and then somebody's gonna get triggered. It's magic, I swear.
That's some alpha.
Some engagement alpha. So collection number 6 for the day. We both swept the Kennels, by the way, but collection number 6 is something that we don't see pop up here every day. It's Deafbeef.
Oh wow.
Yeah, have you heard of this before?
No, definitely not. Not until it made its way onto the top 10 here.
Yeah, it's been in the top 10. I've seen it before. This is way before we started doing Sweeper Sell. It doesn't really get that much volume because it's so expensive, but it's just one of those historic type of just an art-based music. It's audio-visual art, basically. Each art was just generative, like the actual visual that comes with it, as well as there's a sound, there's songs with each that are generative, which is pretty cool, but there's really not a lot of volume on this stuff. Created in March 2021, 70 ETH floor.
70 ETH is wild, and I'm going through the past sales, and it looks like it's gone up and down just a little bit, but it peaked apparently around 140 floor price.
Yeah, this is one of those that
Pretty
it just depends
insane.
who's buying. Like, there's not a lot of demand for stuff like this, so the floor price can change like very high, very fast. Let's see. In the past 30 days, there have only been 2 sales.
Yeah, there's been some heavy wallets involved with the project for sure. How about that?
Yeah. So based on what you know, and there's only 223 of these items, by the way. So 70 ETH is the floor. There have been some sales like that. Like the past 2 sales have been 75 and 70. So it seems like we're right in that sweet spot for sales. Are you gonna be sweeping or selling these?
I'm gonna mark this down as a sweep because I don't think that they're gonna go down in the next week. And then whenever they do come up again on the top 10 and we have a sale in a month or 2, we'll come back to it. We'll see that I swept and I look like a genius. So I'm gonna sweep them.
All right. I was thinking about sweeping. I'm kind of teetering right now. I'm wondering if part of the pump, or not even pump, if the one buy had to do anything with Basel coming up. But I feel like that's kind of a stretch. So I really don't see people dumping these under 70, but just the fact that there's really not that much volume on this thing, I'll take a gamble on it. We're gonna sell it this week, and try to play the game and see if I can get an edge on you by selling these.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So coming in, collection number 5, we got the Kodas. And these are actually up from an hour ago. When I was looking, the Kodas were 10.8 on the floor, and now it's up to 11.
Yeah, I mean that's the Yuga effect right there. You know, we might as well just crush through these Yugas and just take advantage of the time we have left here on the call, so we can get these early wins. But yeah, I think the Kodas will run up a little bit too. Like I don't think 11.5, 12 in the next week or so. Maybe it's a little different because they're not directly involved with staking, but it's the whole ecosystem pumping when something like this happens. So I will sweep these, just letting you know if that wasn't clear enough, but I'm sure you've got something real nice to add to whatever you got.
I'm gonna sweep these as well. Everything you said pretty much lines up with my thoughts. I still think that these are probably the most underrated Yuga asset. Like we still don't know how these things are going to be used yet, and
Totally.
It's its own 10,000 collection that's separate from the apes, separate from the mutants. Yeah, and just like the fact that we don't know what their utility is yet has me intrigued, and I think once we look back at this, maybe like a year or 2 years from now, it could be like Kodas right now could be like where the mutants were whenever they were just sitting on the floor for like 3 or 4 ETH for like a month or two before they really started taking off and getting picked up. It really just depends on how we end up using these things in the other side. But long story short, especially with the announcements coming out over the next month or two, I'm really excited for the Kodas. So I'm definitely going to be sweeping these at 11.
Yeah, I think it's a nice move. It's like low risk, low reward right now too. Not even low risk, low reward, but like it's pretty low risk, all things considered. Like I think ETH would really have to start bottoming out again, heading back towards $1,000 for it to drag some of these NFTs back down.
Yeah, I don't like when you say that because I think we're headed that way.
Oh shit!
But hey, you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. I hope we could get that decoupling of the NFTs from ETH, which is I'm just praying for that. Like
it'd be nice.
I want to go back to the old days where ETH goes down and then people just use it to buy more NFTs.
Yeah, I know, right?
Those were the golden days.
The golden years.
Yep. All right, collection number 4, and then we'll get into all Yuga assets for the rest of the time. Is the memes by 6529. So right now, floor price of 0.19. The memes collection is focused on the fight for the open metaverse and spreading its message to many people and many wallets. This is like I don't own any of these by the way, but
0.19.
this is something that I use as inspiration actually for my vibe cards that I've been making. I really like what 6529 is doing. Like I said, I don't own any of these, but I think we're gonna see a lot more things like this pop up in the future with individual curators, creators, stuff like that, where they just have series of different drops related to whatever focus they're on.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really cool what he's doing and putting this little collection together, collaborating with different artists in the space too to do it. 0.19 is solid though too. I think that's probably his GM tweet is the 0.19 floor price.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was like 0.07 when it first dropped. I think it was.
It wasn't even that long ago. I think it was 0.07 because I was looking at these like a week or two ago and it was below 0.1.
Yeah, so they're pumping a little bit, which is cool to see. I
I
don't
did
know
see
where.
that if you owned one of these, you got. I don't know if every single person got included on it, but a select number of people got included in an airdrop, and I think an allow list for something coming up. I think it was this Meow Meow Alley, actually.
Yeah, so from my understanding, if you own any of his meme cards, you get an opportunity to mint the next one. Like it's not a 1-to-1 where if you own them or if you own this collection, I think he puts puts all the owners into the hopper and creates the allow list from that.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome. Like kind of alluding to, but going back to what we were talking about earlier with the pricing compared to how it used to be, this isn't something that I would personally rush into just after seeing the pump like this. I think it's really cool collection. I think it's a cool thing that 6529's got going on. But just knowing that there's going to be an abundance of things in this collection in the future, it's not something that I would want to rush into, especially after a pump. So at 0.19, I'm going to be selling these. What about
That's
you,
legit.
Ty?
It's a good take. It's hard to argue with that. I'm going to sweep them. I'm surprised, like, just from seeing how far they've come already. Yeah, maybe they don't go up in a week and they pull back a little bit, but I think long term, these have already shown that they're only going to continue to grow, especially as 6529 keeps growing.
Yeah, that is the hard thing because like he's got 6 figures of followers on Twitter, so
right,
the reach is definitely there, and I feel like it's a flywheel effect almost once you start getting that many people following you.
Yeah, dude. He's definitely worth a follow. Super notable voice in the space. And long term, I think most of these are a no-brainer. If you can get in, probably not a bad play if you look back 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Punk6529 on Twitter if you guys want to check him out. 418K followers. And he really has the best takes in crypto. Sounds like I'm gassing him up like crazy, but the man has completely earned it. I can assure you guys that.
Yeah, definitely. Like if you don't know where to start, just start with those threads.
Absolutely. So, collection number 3. Speaking of 6529, we got his profile picture coming up next. CryptoPunks, which floor price $65.98. That would be really cool if it was $65.29, but we were just robbed of that. Very, very close though.
Man, I think they're up week over week.
Yeah, they're up about 2.3 ETH from last week, I'm pretty sure.
Those are some nice looking floor punks.
Yeah, they are. I'm not gonna lie. After some of the Yuga FUD came out last week, I almost looked at possibly trading my ape for a punk.
Oh,
Didn't
wow.
actually, like, I did zero effort to actually do it. But I was just looking at some of the floor punks, like, all right, let's see what we got going on here. But yeah, I wouldn't want to give away my ape for a punk right now, especially with all the ape staking coming out.
Totally.
So I think this might be a hot take here, but I'm going to sell the punks at $65.98. Just because I could see somebody else in the punk camp maybe wanting to get back into the apes, or like get into the apes or something, to capitalize on the staking. So, you know, I could see somebody possibly dumping one of these that's up from whenever they bought in, to switch camps for a little bit. So I'm gonna sell the punks here.
That's
probably a surprise.
No, when you put it like that, that's a pretty solid take. Like, this might be your last chance to get in on something like the apes, and if you need some liquidity, maybe it's an extra punk somehow. That's pretty solid, yeah. They're 66 right now. Yeah, they're holding pretty strong. Those do look like some nice punk sales too. I don't know if there's any news coming up or anything like that, but They are in the Yuga ecosystem too, so that could be why we're pumping as well, just a little bit, carrying everything across the board. I'll sweep them too, just to play the game.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Those are some nice looking floor pumps.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I have a better reason for my sell, but yeah, I really don't have anything. I just wish the punks had utility, and that's what's throwing me off. So just like knowing the apes are getting it is why I'm gonna sell.
Yeah, I mean that's solid.
All right, so collection number 2, it's gonna be all Yuga the rest of the day. We got the mutant apes. I think we can probably make this pretty quick. Like we've literally just been talking only about this stuff for the past hour. But mutant apes are at 13.5 floor price, and yeah, I'm gonna be sweeping these along with the bored apes. I'll just make it known now, just because staking's coming up. I think we're getting the trial of Jimmy in a month. Just people want these things just off of speculation. So I think the path of least resistance right now is up.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. I feel like the floor price was just like 14.5 to 14.7. So yeah, maybe it's.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good, man. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say. I was gonna back up what you just said. Like literally, as we're talking, the floor prices are dropping on these things.
Yeah,
the mutant apes were in the 14s. Bored apes like an hour ago were like 71 floor, and now it's 68.39. It looks like. So a lot of activity going on.
Interesting. Wonder if something crazy just happened. If anything, maybe it's just pulling back a little bit. They've been on a nice little run in the last week or so, but that's natural. So I'll sweep them again. I'm probably going to sweep the bored apes too. I think everything's going to run up between now and the 5th.
Yeah, I think that's a good transition into the apes. So collection 1, basically like exactly like what we're saying with the mutants. So you think everything's going to run up between now and you say the 5th?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some maybe. But I'm pretty sure the 5th is the first day you can start staking, right?
I'm actually not sure. We should definitely get some confirmation. I need confirmation for myself on that one. I don't have any ApeCoin right now, so
yeah,
might be
double
a good
check
time
that.
to start looking into that. But if that's the truth, then people, I think, will definitely continue buying stuff leading up to that date. So I'm gonna go ahead and sweep the apes, just like I already said. How do you feel about these? Same way? Same thing for you, Ty?
Yep, same thing. Let's sweep them.
Let's go. All right. I think that was a pretty solid episode. We got a lot of different picks this week compared to how we normally do. But I'm getting it all pulled up over here. So here's what we're on this week.
Oh wow!
We got
sweeping everything.
Me and you are opposite on Azuki, and then we're opposite on CloneX. We agreed to sell Valhalla. We agreed on sweeping all the Yuga assets except for CryptoPunks. And yeah, you're doing a lot of sweeping over here.
Doing a lot of sweeping, man. That's what the bear market is for.
Tytropolis got his broom ready. Did not forget it today.
Yep, sometimes that broom loses you money, but that's okay.
It's part of the game. It's part of the game. Oh man. This is a pretty quick episode. We still got a little bit of time left before we hit an hour here. Is there anything else that you've been looking into that you want to talk about before we sign off for the day?
I'm glad you brought that up, because normally I would have some dope projects probably to shout out, even some Degens stuff that's been on my radar. But I think the big thing was Terrell Jones artwork just blowing up. If you're not familiar with that, like you already covered it, went through some of the screen share, but anybody paying attention, I would check that out. It seems like anytime the bear market settles in, art blocks pump, like artists pump, and it's like real art. Like you said, your character arc's gone 180 in the last year, but like art's always gonna win, especially in this space. It's a lot of artists supporting each other, and a lot of Degens with a lot of ETH to throw at dope art that they like for no reason. So it's been cool, you know. Otherwise, yeah, check out your drop, Paper 8, drop vibe card number 2 on Tezos. Peep that. Those are my 2 shout outs for the week.
Yep, I'm just gonna echo exactly what you said. Support your local artists, support your local apes, and yeah, the people out here that are building in the bear market. By the time things switch bull, they're gonna have all the momentum going behind them. So I think it's really important to start looking at who's really crushing it right now. Like you said, Terrell Jones, he's been killing it. He's on the up and up. Go check him out. I'm trying to get in the music game, so check out my stuff on Tezos. But Ty, it was awesome hanging out with you today. Appreciate you stopping in to the well. Big thanks to everyone else who tuned in. We do the show live every Monday at 1 p.m. Central, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you know every time we go live. Oh, I just realized I threw up the wrong screen there. Events every weekday, like I was just saying. If you want to join our community, join the 8well Discord. We post a ton of alpha in there. I'm going to locate all the dates for stuff that we didn't know and throw them in the main chat in there. It's free to join, so absolutely no downside. You get all the information that we post. And that's all I got. So hope you all have a great day.